Alright guys, this is Mr. Jim Martinez with your 8th grade science channel, and today we're going to be looking at all the notes that we're going to be collecting for the periodic table. The page numbers, however, might be a little different, alright? So don't worry too much about the page numbers. Just know that our first note's supposed to be after the last bell ringers for the atomic structures. So we're supposed to start here. First, the teaks. You can pause the video at any time so you can copy all the stuff that you're supposed to be copying. The composition book is going to be used sideways, but for now just copy the teaks 8.5 letter C to interpret the arrangement of the periodic table, including groups and periods, and explain how properties are used to classify the elements. So here is the first periodic table. And these are groups or families, and these are 18 of them. And each column on the periodic table represents the number of valence electrons. So all these elements in group 1, they have 1 valence electrons: hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. All the elements in group 2 have 2 valence electrons. So that's why you see those, that will be the last energy level with the valence electrons. Likewise, group number 3, 4, 5, 6. You can see all the group numbers on top of the columns. Those are the group numbers. They have 3 valence electrons, 4, 5, and so forth and so on, until we get to group 13, and group 13 has 3 valence electrons. Group 14 has 4 valence electrons. 15 has 5. 16 has 6. 17 has 7. But then, on the last group, group 18, we have a little bit of a discrepancy. Helium is the only one that has 2 valence electrons instead of 8. And then all the rest of the elements have 8 valence electrons. However, they do have something in common. What they have in common is that the valence electrons, or the last energy level, are full. So I made a little note on that. All right? So that's what groups or families supposed to, that's the meaning of them. That's the meaning behind them. Those groups or families, all the elements on that respective group have the same number of valence electrons that is located on the top, the little top number. Okay, so let's take a look at the notes that we're supposed to have along with them. Don't worry about the first one. You know, it's like a little mnemonic phrase that changes for every period. But number 2, these are all vertical columns like this one. This is an example. Group 18, just an example. It's a vertical column. And that's how those groups or families are represented. Albertano has 18 girlfriends. GF, 18 girlfriends. That's 18 groups or families. All elements of the same group have the same number of valence electrons. And all elements of the same group have similar chemical properties like reactivity. Reactivity, guys, is one of the chemical properties, and this is one that is mentioned all the time in STAR. Alright, so make sure you have those. On the next page, we have periods. That's the title for them. And the periods represent the shells, the orbitals, or energy levels. This means the same thing. Period number 1. Well, first of all, these are the period numbers. You're supposed to number them with your pen or pencil. These are horizontal lines that run sideways. Period 1 includes hydrogen and also helium. Period 2 includes lithium, beryllium, and all these rest ones. Period 3, sodium, magnesium, and all this, and so forth and so on. Okay, so what they represent in the periods is the number of energy levels. Like period number 1, it has only 1 energy level. And there you go. Period number 2, it has 2 shells or 2 energy levels. All these elements on that period have 2 shells or 2 energy levels. And so forth and so on. Period 3, all those elements have 3 energy levels. Period 4, they all have 4 energy levels. So you need all this space so you can write down all this stuff and make those energy levels that are represented with the period number. Right? So that's it. I'm gonna make another video explaining the rest of the stuff. But first, let's go over this. There are 7 periods on every periodic table. Periods run in horizontal lines. All elements of the same period have similar amount of energy level. So that's it. All right, that's it for these 2 pages. Remember, the page numbers might be a little bit different, so keep that in mind. This is Jim Martinez. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if possible. Bye-bye.